Welcome to my presentation entitled Exercise for Children, the Benefits of Resistance Training for Children. Briefly, we were going to start off by discussing a brief summary of the benefits of resistance training in children. I will then discuss the decades of declining activity in our children. I will then talk to you briefly of how our school systems have been failing our children. That's going to lead us to our very first activity. Then we're going to go into organized sport, how that has failed our children as well, leading us to our second activity. Then I'll go back and retouch on the benefits of resistance training in children. We'll talk about the protection aspect of it. We're going to talk about the confidence it gives our children. We're going to talk about how it prevents and it treats diseases. And then we'll end our show. So briefly, resistance training benefits, there's the obvious performance one. When kids are bigger, they're stronger, they're more muscular, they're more coordinated. Those are all benefits from resistance training. Their bones are going to develop stronger. The minerals get deposited into their bones to make them stronger through activity. Those bones are going to be protected. They're going to have more meat on their bones, so to speak. I think like a bubble wrap around those vulnerable bones as they grow as children. And of course, self-esteem. As you look at the picture here, Sarah's flexing. She's happy, she likes her pipes, makes her feel good about her body, and we all know kids need self-esteem as they are young, when they're young. So if you're going to ask me anything, and you're going to ask me a question about, should my children be involved in a program of resistance training, even at a young age, my answer is going to be yes. Of course they are. It's so many benefits. I'm not saying they're going to end up looking like the Black Spider-Man here, who's got all muscles everywhere like that, but some kind of program, resistance-based, is going to do wonders for your child. So let's get to the decades of declining activity. For years and years, our activity levels have been going down in our children. There's many factors contributing to this. Where I come from personally, our schools are so overcrowded that the gyms are actually being used as classrooms. So there's our school systems, overcrowding is limiting their gym time, so they're not getting any gym time or very little gym time. Kids these days have iPads and Xboxes, TV is intense. They are wasting so much of their life on screen time alone that their activity levels have been decreased. Now I picked this picture because I can imagine little Frankie here at home playing on his Xbox. His mom comes in and says, "Hey, why don't you go outside and play?" Well, I don't think this is what she had in mind, but he takes the TV, the Xbox, he went outside and he played. So if you want to go into, we'll touch on the school system right now. Some people believe that our kids are getting enough activity, physical activity, vigorous physical activity through their school systems. But as you can tell, Dr. Ian Jansen here did a study in 2014 called Active Play, published in the Canadian Journal of Public Health. And he studied gym class time, play time, and organized sport time. He came to the conclusion that just in gym class alone, you're not going to get your 60 minutes of activity that you need. As you can see in this picture, one kid, this entire picture, is moving. The rest are sitting, some are standing, one kid's stretching, this guy's getting yelled at by someone. Anyways, in a gym class, Dr. Johnson found that half of the time is spent getting instruction, and the other half of the time is spent on light to moderate activity. So our children aren't getting any kind of vigorous activity at school. Now, if you don't believe me, we'll move to our first activity. We're going to go outside and watch your kids play. Take a stopwatch if you want. Watch how much time is spent them watching other kids play, as opposed to them actually playing and moving. You're going to come up with a 50-50 split. Mark your times down. Let me know. Now, if you think, hey, my kid plays organized sport. He plays baseball, he plays hockey, him or her, sorry. Organized hockey, baseball, football, lacrosse, whatever, soccer, whatever they play. You think, well, he was there for an hour and a half. But you got to think about Dr. Ian Jansen has covered this topic as well. So he said, in organized sports, 33% of the time, those kids are on a knee, as you see in this picture here, getting instruction. 35% of that time, they're doing light activity. So they're running through a drill at half speed, not moving very quickly. 16% of it is moderate activity, and another 16%, only 16% of this time in organized sport are they doing anything of vigorous activities. Activity number 2, watch your kid. Watch them when they're in sports. If they play hockey, watch how much time they spend on one knee getting instruction. Watch how much time they do doing a drill at half speed. And then watch how much time they do busting it out there, getting bag skated at the end of practice. Watch them in the game. How much time are they in the game? While they're in the game, how much time are they moving? You're going to come up with numbers. It's very, very similar to this. So now we go back to the benefits a little bit. Obviously, protection is huge. Everybody wants to protect their children. There's no better way to do that than get them involved in resistance training. It's going to pack muscles on them. It's going to see, Rosanna Noguera did a study about capoeira kids in 2015, studied in the Journal of Sports and Science and Medicine about resistance training and exercise for kids. She came up with the conclusions that larger masses of muscle on top of a growing and vulnerable skeletal system are very, very beneficial. It comes for added protection, it makes added coordination, it adds to bone strength. So these are just some of the benefits, the protection benefits from resistance training. Now, there's obvious confidence factors as well. Barakat Falk, a professor at the pediatric in Brock University, he did a study published in the Pediatric Exercise Science Journal about obese and underweight children and the benefits of resistance training for them. And his main conclusions were based on confidence that obese children were very good at resistance training, and underweight children benefited from them. They both saw body changes, extreme body changes, when they would start a resistance training program, which would lead to increases in self-esteem. And then we move on to disease. Disease has been used for years to treat diseases, as therapy for diseases. It's been known to improve function in children with diseases, more specifically in cystic fibrosis, and cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, leukemia. Resistance training has even been used for burn victims to get that motion back. Not only do we use resistance training to treat these diseases, but resistance training we can use to prevent these diseases. As early children, when we're still developing, it's important to get resistance, to be stronger, so that our immune system can build up as well from the exercise, thus limiting the chance that a disease can attack us. So in conclusion, I would say the value of resistance training can be seen at many levels. It's used to treat debilitating diseases, it's used to improve your self-esteem, it's used to increase performance, even though we didn't really touch on it in this performance, or in this assignment, it can be used to increase your academic levels. So instilling a program of intense physical activity that is based on resistance is the perfect way to keep your child healthy. Thank you.